Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Hello everybody. Your Excellency Minister of Education for the Federal Government of Somalia, Abdullahi Gola Barre, Director General of the Ministry of Education, Ahmed Hassan Yusuf, the Ministers of Education for the Federal Member States, representatives of the EU, UNICEF, USA, NGOs, ADRA, and all partners, friends and colleagues, and also I would like to express a special thanks to the girls of Bondere who have inspired us with very powerful words. So I think all of us have a lot to take back home. I would just like to say to the girls of Bondere, I myself was born in Bondere. I was born in the Hospital Carava. It was the Rava Hospital at the time. I think it is now the Ministry of Health. Yeah, I have not gone there yet, but I think that's what it is. Yeah. Okay, so thank you very much. So on behalf of ECW and ECW's director, I'm honored to be among you today to mark the launch of the Education Cannot Wait facilitated multi-year program of the federal government of Somalia and member states. This comprehensive multi-year education response program that we are launching today addresses the double and the triple nexus. It has an overall budget of 67.5 million, was developed by the government, Ministry of Education, humanitarian and development actors from civil society and UN agencies, as well as donors who accompanied throughout the process through a transparent and inclusive manner. And I'd like to thank all of those who were part of this process. It was a long process, but I think we can see its fruits today because it's all inclusive and everybody owns this process. I'd also like to say that this program will benefit from catalytic seed funding from Education Cannot Wait in the amount of 8.7 million, which we expect is to start the global efforts to mobilize additional funds of the remaining gap, which is 58.8 million, required for funding the overall education and emergency response to reach over 400,000 Somali children and youth annually over 3 years, which also has a special focus on girls. Up to 60% target beneficiaries will be girls. The program will improve access to inclusive quality education for Somali children and youth affected by crisis and displacement through the rehabilitation of schools, which will provide adequate safe learning spaces, supply teachers and learning materials, improve girls' enrollment and retention, and by providing alternative basic education, it will transition more children into the formal system. The program will also address system strengthening in terms of emergency preparedness, response, coordination and monitoring, as well as data connection. And we believe that it is critical that education and emergency data is integrated into the EMIS system to better inform programs. The program targets the needs of IDPs, pastoralists, rural populations, returnees, refugees, and host communities. In other words, the most vulnerable and farthest left behind. So we believe that all school children must enjoy their right to education. The multi-year program supports existing national plans and strategies, and it draws linkages with the Somali National Development Plan 2017-2018 and the Education Sector Strategic Plan of 2018 and 2020. The program also builds on Education Cannot Wait's first response in 2017, which supported partners to immediately respond to the severe drought at the time. ECW believes that education is an enabler of all the SDGs. If you don't have education, you cannot achieve any of the other SDGs. Education is key to peace and security. It is key to increased economic growth. It is key to the development trajectory of people, countries, and regions. The multi-year program, with other plans, supports the government in implementing the 2030 agenda, Leave No One Behind, for the sustainable development, as well as the Djibouti Declaration to integrate into the National Education Plan a costed plan for IDPs, returnees, refugees, and host communities. This ambitious program will require coordinated efforts from all of us to mobilize more resources for the program, we see it as a key building block in furthering inclusive and quality education for the children and youth of Somalia that have been impacted by violence and displacement, and emergencies, natural disasters as well. So again, a special thanks to the government, the minister, all the partners which have been key to the development of the multi-year program, as this product is a co-creation that has involved all of you, all stakeholders. So your engagement from here onwards will define the shape of a better Somalia in a better world, as always with the interests of children and youth at heart, particularly in emergency and conflict contexts. So let's all work together towards accomplishing the mission of bringing more children to school. And as I quote, children and youth cannot be left behind in conflict and emergencies, and education cannot wait. Thank you.